The Mason's Real Rock Station. Good buddy of mine, good friend, working on a new album, Rick DeJesus of Adelitas Way. Welcome to the show.
Feels good to be back on. I've been nonstop, man. We're getting ready to do a quick California tour, and then we fly out to Orlando to go finish this record with Elvis Biscuit, who's worked on some great records. He did my favorite Chevelle record. Worked with Incubus, Alter Bridge. He's awesome, man. So we're going to go wrap the record up with him, and then from there we're going to tour the entire United States of America. It's going to be great. We're already booked for all of March, and now we're finalizing all of April to headline, so it's going to be great.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. It's good that you're out. You're doing the thing, as tough as this business is.
Well, I think the problem is no one in our world, you know, you see rappers, you see R&B, you see pop artists, they constantly are working together. They're constantly doing things together. They're working as a team, and in our business, it feels like you're constantly battling against the people within your own industry, and that's, you know, I put these last two records out on my own label. We had a top 10 hit with Bad Reputation. We're at number 23 or 24 in the chart with Ready for War, and we're constantly breaking down barriers. But I definitely feel like some people want to try to stop what we're doing. So, you know, in our own world, some people who, if they just supported us, we simply would really break the barriers down. They're trying to stop us. So it kind of blows my mind. It kind of blows my mind, the lack of support from other artists who I think are going to have to do what I'm doing as well. And I think the lack of support from the rock community in a whole, outside of a lot of my friends and people that are always great to me, it seems like we just can't work together, and I think that's a main struggle for this genre.
I completely agree, and you and I have talked about it a lot. Anybody just joining the show, of course, Rick DeJesus, Adelitas Way. There used to be this sort of symbiotic relationship between label, band, audience, and all of that sort of work together to create the juggernaut that it once was. And now it's like
there's no support system. There's no support system from within the artist, and no support system from our own, you know, our own formats out there trying to play alternative songs. So how do you break new artists when the format that's supposed to be playing rock music is so consumed with playing alternative acts and trying to claim alternative acts that are already successful? It just blows my mind, you know, and I'm not even worried about that. I've almost taken a different approach. I feel like it gives us more freedom. We don't have to make a certain type of record. We don't have to try to please any certain type of people. We could just come out here, make great music, and really try to make great albums. I feel like rock definitely has not claimed us.
No.
Active rock radio has not really made us feel like family, so we're not really bound to them. We're not bound to anyone, so I can come out and make any kind of record I want, which is also fun.
It's the one thing that I love most about you, my friend, is that very few guys out there will say what you're saying, and there's a ton of them that believe that. And to be real, to tell people how things are. And
even other bands are afraid of us. When was the last time you saw us out on tour with a Shinedown or one of these big bands? It's because the avenue we've taken, even those guys, and not those exact guys, but even those bands that are like that, you know, they let the managers and the labels and these big wigs who are going to disappear in the future, they let them tell them not to bring us out and, oh, Adelitas, stay away from that band. And it's because we're starting this rebellion. You know, I'm an artist first guy. I always have the mentality of the artist first, and I can't even get support from the other artists. So what we got to do is what I've been doing. I'm speaking with the numbers. I'm having constant success. My records are dominating. The fan base is growing. The tours are selling out. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
It doesn't matter who brings us out.
That's right, and that's one thing I've always appreciated about you. You know, you do it on your terms, and the fact is you got to go out and do it yourself if you want it done right and you want the support.
For any bands that are coming up, you know, you have to do it all on your own. That's it. There's no one that's going to come in and hand you a magic ticket. Maybe if you write a smash hit song, maybe a record label will come in and give you a ticket for one song, and a manager will tell you he loves you for an album. You know, with Capitol Records, they let me go. You know, when I called them and said, hey, I think we don't fit on this label anymore. You guys are definitely going a different direction. They were really cool about the exit. They were like, hey man, you've been a great artist. It wasn't even bad on that side. You know, for me, what baffles me is you know, I'm doing what artists are going to have to do in the future, especially at rock. There's not enough money to go around to have personal assistants and managers and all these things. There's just not enough money to go around. That's a fact.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely.
So these guys are going to be these guys who are looking at me like I'm an alien and looking at me like they want to stay away from me. These guys are going to be calling me up soon, asking me exactly how I did it and exactly which approach I've taken. I think the lack of support from other artists is really what has me baffled, because I think one day they're going to be in my position and they're going to be, you know, maybe a little nicer to me at that point. You know, we go in for all these big tours, man. Every big tour that comes out, we put our name in the hat. We're constantly on the radio chart. We're selling. We're getting streamed constantly on Spotify. We are dominating. We're selling out shows. There's some shows you can't even get a ticket to. With that said, we're getting the other bands are not jumping in and saying, "Oh, these guys are selling out venues. We would love to have them on our run." They're looking at us like we have a plague. It's like, "Oh, that band doesn't have a label. They don't have a manager." But why do I need a manager when I'm talking to Spotify directly? When Spotify executives call me directly? When Apple Music executives call me directly? When I can book my own headlining tours and sell out knitting factories and House of Blueses?
Yeah, why should you pay the middle guy for all of that?
The middle guy makes more money than the entire band can buy him when it's all said and done. So how do you justify that? How do you justify the middle guy? When you write your 1099s for the year, you do your write-offs, and you see that the middle guy made $170,000 for the year, and your drummer made $50,000, you realize something has to change. You're like, when we're out there killing ourselves on the road and the middle guy's in an office collecting the majority of our income, you realize something has to change. And yeah, there are some bands that don't even see that effect because they're raking in $10 million and they're happy with $1 million.
You're right. And it amazes me, Rick, is that bands are even doing that anymore with all the information out there and all the bands that, over the history that have been left with nothing at the end of the day. It still baffles me that there are bands out there who don't take as much personal interest in not only just themselves, but their product.
I've been told, I love you, kid, I'll be here forever. I've been told everything you want. I'm going to make you a star, this, that, and the other thing, not just from managers, from labels, from everyone.
Right.
If you have 6 hit singles in a row, and you have one song that doesn't become a smash hit, these people start jumping off the train, and they don't believe in you. They don't think you can bounce back. I bounced back. There ain't a song every single song I've released since I've been on my own label has had millions of streams on Spotify. Has sold, Bad Reputation sold 40,000 singles on iTunes at a time where you can't get people to buy anything. Is the industry giving me props? Are they saying, wow, this kid's doing it? No. They're mad.
Well, you're exposing something. That's why.
They're trying to hold me back. Have you seen us on any Rock on the Ranges or Carolina Rebellions? Don't you think it's ironic?
Yeah.
That we're coming off a top 10 hit and we're not on one rock festival? It just shows you where the loyalty lies. We're in a corporate business still, but the problem is corporate doesn't control the fans.
No, they do not.
Our music controls the fans. Corporate can't tell fans, don't listen to Adelitas Way's Bad Reputation. They can't say it. Fans decide they love the song. Everything I'm doing is for the artists that come after me, man.
No, you're right, dude. I appreciate the champion. One of the things that I've always done on the air is explain to people, man, if you wonder whatever happened to that band that you loved because you don't see them anymore, you got to support the music every way you can. And I always tell people, if you want to buy, say, Adelitas Way music, go to adelitaswaymusic.com. Buy it from there. Buy it from, I hear all the time, and I just can't to get into it with some artists, but, I've talked to artists before, like, well, we don't care how they get the music as long as they get it. Well, I mean, in theory, that's great if you're a multimillionaire artist, but most artists are not there anymore.
Well, also those people that say that, I bet you a lot of those guys are 35, 37-year-old single men, no wife, no kids. I mean,
right.
I'm down to tour 9 months out of the year, but at some point, I got 2 beautiful little girls at home. I would much appreciate if people bought the music. If they listen to it, I'm still very appreciative, but we toured all those years to build what we have now.
Right.
Now, when we come out, I'm going to do 3 or 4 tours a year. 2 or 3 headlining tours and 1 support tour, and that's it. I want to not only make our show feel special, but I want to spend some time and raise my kids.
Yeah, dude. Finding the fine line.
Have my wife stand by me.
Yeah. Yeah, wives get a little upset when we're gone all the time. Oh, my God, brother. Well, I'm going to let you get to your rehearsal, man. Looking forward to the new album.
It's great, man. I'll tell you that. It's a great record. I'm going to go rock right now with the band, and everybody look out for us, man. We're going to be touring the U.S. March, April. We got the new record coming out, and probably, I'd say, late spring, summer. I'm going to call the album Notorious. It's going to be good.
Good. We got scoop. That's awesome. Rick DeJesus, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, brother.